The last person who occupied the job of U.S. Vice President ended up the target of a violent mob calling for him to be hanged. Even so, as Donald Trump closes in on the Republican nomination for 2024, there is no shortage of contenders eager to be his deputy. It is safe to assume that Mike Pence, who was Trump's running mate in 2016 and 2020, will not get the job this time. His refusal to comply with his boss's demand to overturn the last election caused a permanent rift and made Pence a perceived traitor and target of the January 6 insurrectionists. Undeterred, Trump's campaign surrogates in the recent Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire primary, both of which he won handily, have been trying to outdo each other with extravagant displays of fealty. "It's very clear he's holding these open auditions like it's The Apprentice," said Kurt Bardella, a Democratic strategist. "He will flirt with everyone. He will make them dance. They will all debase themselves and humiliate themselves and jockey for that spot." When he first ran for president in 2016, Trump understood that he needed a vice presidential pick who could help shore up support among Republican evangelicals and social conservatives, who were suspicious of the thrice-married reality TV star. Pence, the then Indiana governor and fierce social conservative, was from what Trump likes to call central casting. This year, Trump's allies and Republican strategists believe that he needs help attracting suburban swing voters in a handful of battleground states, where November's election will likely be decided. Many commentators therefore predict that he will choose a woman or a person of color, especially since the demise of the constitutional right to abortion. Michael Steele, a former chair of the Republican National Committee, said one of the factors important to Trump is just how much of a sycophant they would be, not just in terms of, "Oh, I love you, Donald Trump," but "Do you love me enough when I tell you to violate your oath of office and the Constitution that you'll do it?" And that person for me is Elise Stefanik. Stefanik, 39, the highest-ranking woman in the Republican conference in the House of Representatives and one of the first members of Congress to endorse Trump, appears to have timed her run perfectly. She gained national prominence last month after embarrassing the heads of 3 top universities about anti-Semitism on their campuses during a congressional hearing, which prompted 2 of them to later resign. Stefanik claimed victory and declared, "I will always deliver results." Trump reportedly described her as a killer. Since then, she has outdone even the notoriously obsequious Pence. Soon after Trump described those convicted of crimes in the insurrection as hostages, she parroted the same term on NBC television's flagship Meet the Press program. When Trump confused rival Nikki Haley with former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi while discussing January 6, Stefanik brazenly denied what everyone had heard. Larry Sabato, the director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia, said, "She's running flat out for it. That's the only explanation for the things she says and does. I'm embarrassed for her, but she's not embarrassed because she only has one career goal. She says whatever she thinks he'll like. He does like it." Trump doesn't think he needs anybody to win this election, so my guess is he'll require lots of prominent people to come and pay homage to him. In what is currently Washington's favorite parlor game, the smart money is currently on Stefanik. Bill Whalen, a former media consultant for politicians including the former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, said, "Just based on what she did at that congressional hearing, what could make Trump more pleased than watching her take apart the Ivy League presidents? That would be very appealing for him to put her on the ticket." Another contender is Kristi Noem, serving her second term as South Dakota's governor after a landslide re-election victory in 2022. She gained national attention after refusing to impose a statewide mask mandate during the coronavirus pandemic. Noem campaigned for Trump at several events in Iowa earlier this month. Then there is the South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who is African American and could help Trump make inroads among black voters. Scott was a one-time Republican rival to Trump but dropped out of the race in November. He has since endorsed Trump and told him during his victory speech in New Hampshire, "I just love you." He also just announced his engagement to be married. Other potential running mates are Trump's former White House press secretary and current Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Ben Carson, who was Trump's housing secretary, Kari Lake, who narrowly lost a gubernatorial bid in Arizona in 2022 and is now running for the Senate there, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. There appears to be broad resistance to picking Haley, Trump's former UN ambassador and his last rival for the Republican nomination. On January 19, she said being a running mate was off the table, while Trump said he would probably not pick her. Since then, relations between the two have soured, with Trump using insults such as bird brain and Haley critiquing his age and mental acuity. In addition, Haley's hawkish views on foreign policy, including military aid for Ukraine, are anathema to Trump's America First base. Right-wing broadcaster Tucker Carlson vowed recently, "I would not only not vote for that ticket, I would advocate against it as strongly as I could." Trump has publicly said he has already made up his mind, but he is reportedly still calling friends, supporters, and donors for advice on whom he should pick. The stakes are unusually high this time, and the oft-quoted old saw from Franklin Roosevelt's deputy John Nance Garner, "The vice presidency isn't worth a pitcher of warm piss," may not apply in 2024. Biden is 81 and Trump is 77, meaning that a vice president's ability to assume command has never been more pertinent. Whalen, a research fellow at the Hoover Institution think tank at Stanford University, said, "A wary, skeptical voter is going to be thinking, okay, what happens if?" It makes the choice of the running mate all the more important. We talk about this every election and we then dismiss it as voters don't really think that way. But it's on the table in this election in ways it hasn't been in the past, because you are focusing on the candidate's health and their mental faculty, and the chance that one or both could not finish out a term. That does lead to a different calculation with Trump in this regard. It's not so much about picking up some electoral votes or reaching out to a group. It is the question of picking somebody who credibly can say they're ready to lead from day one. You would think their chops would be more important than just their demographic. Trump may not be in a hurry to make a final decision. The longer he dangles the prospect of the vice presidency, the more that aspirants will genuflect and make elaborate attempts to get in his good graces. Wendy Schiller, a political scientist at Brown University, agreed. She said, "He doesn't think he needs anybody to win this election, so my guess is he'll require lots of prominent people to come and pay homage to him. Then he'll wait for the convention in July to announce it, because he wants to make clear that that they're irrelevant. Generally, we worry more who his VP will be than he does." India. Trending. Latest. Election. World. Video. Opinion. Web stories. Cities. Offbeat. South. Feature. Education. Science. People. Weather. Photos. TV schedule. Trending stories. 1. MMA ring or Maldives parliament? Punches, kicks, hair pulled during session. 2. How strategist Prashant Kishore reacted to Nitish Kumar's latest flip-flop. 3. Woman asks her Tinder match why should she date him, his reply is viral. 4. Nitish Kumar's first reaction after taking oath for 9th time in Bihar. 5. New alliance, same Nitish Kumar, Bihar Chief Minister's record 9th oath. 6. 3 American soldiers killed in drone attack in Syria. 7. Why Nitish Kumar's exit is big setback for India, facepalm for Congress. 8. How Deloitte failed to see massive $470 million scam by Nigerian firm. 9. Row over Lalu Yadav daughter's garbage post after Nitish Kumar coup. 10. Gives tough challenge to chameleons, India block targets Nitish Kumar. View more stories. Newsworld News. Trump can't bully his way to party's nomination, Nikki Haley. Trump can't bully his way to party's nomination, Nikki Haley. Haley lost the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary but has vowed to stay in the contest, despite Trump's insistence that the race is over. Advertisement. World News Agents France Presse. Updated, January 28, 2024, 11:04 p.m. IST. Nikki Haley is Donald Trump's sole remaining challenger, Reuters. Washington, Donald Trump wants to bully his way to the Republican presidential nomination, his sole remaining challenger Nikki Haley said Sunday, as she accused the party leadership of seeking to declare him the nominee prematurely. Haley lost the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary but has vowed to stay in the contest, despite Trump's insistence backed by some top Republican Party leaders that the race is over. He can't bully his way through the nomination, Haley said on NBC's Meet the Press.